What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 92 of Next Gen Newsweek, the one where we all, except for Richard, just woke up and we're all tired. Like, if you just look at Michael, look at me, look at Chase, can you just tell that there's not a lot of energy right now? But we're gonna get there. Richard's got all the energy for us, and he's gonna help us out with that. My name is Mitch. Joining me is Richard. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know. We missed all the Nintendo discussions. I'm sure you were really upset about that. I know. Michael, who also has been gone for a while, welcome back. And Chase, good morning, sir. So this week is all about PlayStation, which, I mean, I know that's why Richard going to guarantee he was here for this episode, because we've got good news and bad news and weird news about PlayStation in all corners of their area. It's debatable. We haven't got to see it yet. We're gonna talk about all new PlayStation Plus and some stuff going on with it now that it's rolled out in some countries in Asia. There's a state of play happening later this week, so we'll talk about what we can see in there, and some other just smaller stuff, Star Wars related, not Star Wars related. And but before we get into that, we have a lot of catching up to do because, like I said, we haven't seen Richard and Michael in forever, and let's talk about what games we have been playing. I'm going to assume that Chase probably still has the longest list out of all this. Maybe. Maybe not. Well, you want to start? Let's let you start off this week. What you been playing?
Expecting to be like a great, like I wasn't going in expecting Elden Ring, but it's okay. It's kind of short. I can tell I've already looked to see, like, I've got like two more bosses to get through. Um, it's got multiplayer for bosses. It's been kind of glitchy. Um, I feel like I don't know if I should try to finish it or just maybe kind of put it to the side and like try to replay it once they get some patches in there. Just because, like, I don't know, like I'm at the most difficult boss from what I've read. It's okay though, but like it could be better.
Yeah.
So, um, and then I did play a little bit of the new Destiny season. I haven't really gotten much into that. And I played some 3D mini golf game and kick butt on that.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, I watched 10 hours of Stranger Things, and that was a lot of my gaming week. So yeah,
Right on.
Wow, Chase watched a show.
I did actually watch television. It's insane.
I know. Michael, what have you been up to?
A little bit of No Man's Sky. Y'all might have heard of it. They got a new expedition, which I hate, because if you die, you start all the way back over, which is fine, but like my inventory's limited on top of that, where I'm used to holding like 2,000 or something, and now it's like I can only hold 500 of it.
Mm.
And so if I need to build something, those build requirements are still the same. Like, they really should have took that into account.
Do you think the prices feel different too, especially if you want to buy something with nanites? I feel like those prices are inflated.
Oh yeah, the nanite prices are inflated, and the mineral deposits are also smaller on top of that. So it's just...
Yeah, if you want like an S-class mod, it's like 4,800 nanites. It's crazy.
It's fucking crazy. So, anyway, I'm just trying to get through with the bare minimum. It's definitely a survival mode. but it's fun in some ways, and other ways it's just cramping. But you start off, you have your own freighter already, so if you do need that little bit of extra space, just go ahead and immediately summon it
Mm-hmm.
and plow it right into your face hole and die. Otherwise, Fortnite, trying to get that last level up during the last little end of the season. I think they said it ends on June 4th. And so, yeah, just trying to like level up that battle pass.
You've been playing Dislight too, haven't you?
Oh yeah, shit tons of Dislight. Actually, like your first 10 level summons, you hit your pity early, so you get a legendary like almost right off the bat. And the guy I ended up with has carried me through a lot. It's based off the character of Wukong. There's a lot of different deities in the game. They don't really specify just one specific set. So you got like Roman mythology, Chinese mythology, Egyptian mythology, all mixed together. The music is great. The sound effects get a little bit of get like a little wearing on you. You can triple up speed. You can farm and then go do something else. Don't go to chat number 8. Just don't even ask.
What does that even mean?
Don't ask. Don't ask.
I'm asking. The
The
people want to know.
The people that want to know can go to chat 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who want to
Fair
know
enough.
go to chat 8.
Fair
They
enough.
are. I'll word it this way: they are sniffing up the wrong tree. And that's all I'm going to say. But otherwise, it's a really great game. I guess early game you don't hit a energy crisis until like mid to late game,
Mm.
and then you're constantly buying your energy because you're constantly running out because you're constantly farming.
Is this a mobile game?
It is a mobile game.
Okay.
People are playing it on desktop, which I could have swore they advertised like you could just download it, but a lot of people are playing it through like one of the mobile emulators, like BlueStacks or something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a really fun game.
Steven's in the chat and he says you don't want to know about chat 8. And also, sorry guys, I couldn't make it. So- well, there you go. Don't go to chat 8 unless you just
Don't go
hate
to
yourself.
I mean, you're going to end up there eventually because it randomly spawns you in a random ass chat. So you're going to find out, but don't try.
Is it just like a porn chat? Is that what it is?
No, that's channel 69, and they're actually mostly tame.
Okay. So, good to know.
So chat 8 is worse than porn.
Porn, but with furries. No.
I wish. I wish.
Richard, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the New Horizon, but I've kind of set that aside for now because of the expedition on No Man's Sky, which, like Michael was saying, it's the first expedition they've actually placed it in permadeath mode, so it's a lot harder, and yeah, you lose everything on death. Aside from that, I don't know what spurned this on, but I've been playing through Super Mario World on the Switch on the classic
Nice.
thing.
Nice.
I did it a long time ago when I was young. You to get that, I think you can get 101, or I can't remember. There's a certain number
Yeah.
you can get for unlocking everything on the map. So I'm doing that again. It's so weird how much I remember those levels, even though I haven't seen them, in decades.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I think that's it. I've been playing a lot of Switch Sports because me and my daughter just figured out that when it first came out, I got on here and I bitched about the customization of your avatars is just like crap. Did not realize that playing online unlocks little gift boxes that will give you stuff. So those are time-based. There's like a squirrel that my daughter wants that ends in like 2 days. So we've been really grinding to get that done. It's actually not that hard. Bowling will give you the most gift points. So So you can actually just play that all day, and you can unlock it in a few hours.
Especially if you know how to cheese it.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to say what I do, but I've got my method that works.
I've been playing it a little bit with Quentin, and like he was like throwing curveballs and stuff, and I've like still using the same method I was using in Wii Sports to bowl like a damn near perfect game. And he's like, "You're not even putting any effort into this. You're just lining it up and just throwing it." And I'm over here like, "Oh, I'm angling my shots. I'm throwing curveballs and I'm missing." And I was like, "Well, then you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard." Like.
Points for finesse.
Yeah, no. I really like the, I don't know the exact name, the challenge bowling, where it's got the obstacle courses. Have you done any of that?
I've not played that yet.
It's actually really fun, because like the better you do, the more challenging it gets. It's kind of like skill-based matchmaking, but like it happens in real time. So if you start screwing up, it'll scale back the difficulty, but you get more points for, staying on like hard mode.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I'll have to check that. Is that available online?
Yes, it is. What did you say, Michael?
Is it pretty realistic? Like, if you throw it hard enough, can you just throw it over the lane?
So they've taken a lot of that stuff out. Like, if you remember, like, in the Wii Sports one, you could, like, throw the ball backwards and it would scare the shit out of all the Miis. Like, you can't do that in this one. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, it actually can register, like, how fast or how hard you throw the ball, depending on how you swing your arm. So you can actually adjust the speed of the ball throw doing that. It's pretty interesting. I've kind of been all around the gaming space with stuff I've been playing. I'm in one of those moods where like I pick up something and I'll play it for like 2 hours and then put it away and then just not play it anymore. I'm still trying really hard to get through God of War. This may be a very unpopular opinion. I am just not feeling this game. Like, I know it's a very critically acclaimed game, but like the story just doesn't click with me, and it just seems like, oh, it's just an action game for the sake of action. Like, I like the Norse mythology and all that stuff, but it's just like I'm not really into it, but I want to beat it, so I'm gonna stick with it. I haven't like played it against other people yet, but there's a free online beta for Mario Strikers Battle League that's out now. So you can mess with like the training and like learn how to play the game. And I haven't played against another person yet, but the game is also not fun just in training, so I'm probably going to skip that. So take that how you will with that, because
I don't think you can play against actual people yet.
Not till this Friday, but I'm saying like just you can do training and like learn how to play the game, and just the way it plays is just not fun. So I'm going to reevaluate this weekend whenever the online playtest starts, but just what I've done with it so far, I'm not impressed. So, but we'll see. And obviously I'm playing Smash. I'm playing Smash a lot. I actually stream, like, part of, like, I was talking about how, like, to chase, like, I never stay up late anymore, and I stay up till, like, 2 a.m. because Quentin and I were streaming Smash Brothers on Twitch. And there were people like, someone actually raided my Twitch last night and just dumped all of their followers into my chat. And it was like, It was really nice. And it wasn't like a large amount, but it was still just nice that it happened. And they were like setting up these matches for us to do. Like, okay, one of you pick this, one of you pick this. And we did that I think we streamed for 3 hours, 3 or 4. No, it's 3 hours last night doing that. And yeah, it was fun, but I'm also really tired. So. But anyway, that's all I've been playing. Let's go ahead and jump into the headlines for this week. We'll start off with something rather big but also small, as that the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, they call it Jedi Survivor, has been announced, and it is coming out next year. I am not a big Star Wars fan, as you guys already know. So would anyone who is a Star Wars fan like to... What?
You shit on God of War. Now you're shitting on Star Wars. I'm about to quit. I don't like the company atmosphere anymore.
This is my notice. I'm out. But anyway, would any of you who are big into Star Wars like to share your excitement or concerns for Star Wars Jedi Survivor?
I mean, I'm excited it's next gen only for one. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that they're focusing on that, which I think that'll make the game itself way better. I'm really excited for it because the last one, I thought the last game was incredible, and I just hope they just, I mean, do more of the same. Like I was not, displeased with any of that game. So,
Right on. Richard, do you have anything to add to it?
Everything Chase said was correct. Like, I have no concerns. The only thing I wish, and I probably won't get it. I thought it would be cool. It's not like a deal breaker for me, but being sort of along the same timeline as the Obi-Wan show that just premiered, and the fact that they use actual Hollywood actors and stuff to do the Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order. Yeah, I thought it would be cool, and maybe it will happen. I don't know. I doubt it, but I thought it'd be cool, even if it's just a cameo, to see Cal Estes like on the Obi-Wan show or something like that. Because I know that they do consider this to be canon. So, if there was some sort of a crossover,
Yeah.
or even a kick, because Forrest Whitaker was in Fallen Order too. So it's some sort of nod that kind of ties those in together, I think would be awesome. But no, I have no concerns. I'm sure this will be amazing.
And there is an Obi-Wan skin in the Fortnite shop right now as well.
Yep. I saw that.
Where you can summon a hologram of himself, which just seems so.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Does the hologram move?
Yeah, it talks.
Oh. I say, like, I remember, I think it was Halo Reach. They had an ability where you could spawn a hologram of yourself, and you could like hit a button, and it would like come out of you, and it would just run and be like a decoy to like chase people. I don't know if it was something similar to that, because I feel like if they do stuff like that, that's kind of almost like a competitive advantage. That like your game actually turns pay to win to do that.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what happened with the Spider-Man emote, actually. Because he can kind of like, I don't know, there was like a glitch way of setting up some terrain or whatever, and then doing his emote where he hangs upside down and you can't see him.
Very interesting. But yeah, we got Star Wars Jedi Survivor to look forward to next year. There was a rumor that it was coming out like in the first quarter of next year, but it's not confirmed, so we'll just leave it where it's at now. It may show up in Summer Game Fest or something in a couple weeks.
I did, and I don't know if Chase thought this or not, but with the way Fallen Order was set up with like the planets, and you had like certain quests on certain planets, back and forth, I always expected DLC, because it just felt like that would be easy just to throw another planet in there, and I never got it. So that was, I mean, I don't really call that a complaint, but it felt like the model that it was built around was modeled for something for DLC, and then I don't know, it didn't happen.
Well, it could have been something like what happened with Breath of the Wild, where they were making it an extra DLC for it, and then they realized, actually, we just got enough stuff to make a whole nother game, and they just decided to move it over to being a sequel instead. True. Could be something like that. My theory is that's also what happened with Mario Odyssey, and I'm praying that we get a second one. But, we talked about that last week. We're not going to spend time talking about Mario Odyssey again. Y'all missed that. You missed it. We spent like 10 minutes talking about Mario Odyssey 2. So next news story, we are going to have to take a quick turn over to Team Microsoft. Sorry, Richard, because they have announced Project Keystone, which is something we've talked about before, which is their like cloud gaming streaming stick. And so it's not like an actual console. It's literally just like a Roku or a Fire TV stick or something.
I was about to say, I've already got this. It's called the Series S. So it's their cloud streaming device.
But it's affordable. There's no pricing, but I imagine it would be competitive with like a Roku or a Fire TV and not, a $300 console, but it only streams. It's kind of like a Google Stadia. They're taking on that side of the market, but it's not. It's still in a project phase. It's not coming out anytime soon. But they're going heavy on the cloud gaming stuff, and this may be something that pays off, because if they can get a piece of hardware in your living room that costs even like $60 or maybe $80, and it comes with a controller or something, that's way more affordable than a $400, $500, $600 console.
Cheaper to mass produce.
Absolutely. And I saw someone talk about this, that like they're going to count every one of those as a piece of hardware for this generation. That's going to inflate their numbers to be like, oh yeah, look, we sold 200 million Xboxes this generation. Like, yeah, okay, like 150 million of those. Actually, no, I'll be generous. It'll be like a half of that is going to be the streaming stick.
Right.
So, because I mean, they're going to have a very successful generation. It's just taking a while to get off the ground. Same with PlayStation, but I'd buy one just because. Why not? I'm a sucker for new technology, and the cloud streaming works really well, especially if you're in an area that has the new 5G ultra wideband signal. It works great. So something else to look forward to if you're an Xbox fan. What do they call them online? Xbox ponies? Is that what it's called? I don't know.
I hope so, because I love that.
I know PlayStation ponies is real. I assume Xbox ponies is the same way. I saw something where someone was like, I was just going into the weeds on Twitter, and I found this dude's profile, and he like all he does, like he just gets on there and he's like, oh, what a great day, time to shit on Xbox, and he'll be like, oh yeah, look at this, we got Bethesda exclusives before Xbox Day. He's talking about like Deathloop. He's like, oh, we got Deathloop. Like, dude, shut up. They still made money off of it, whether we haven't got to play it yet or not. They still made money off of it. So I mean. Mm-hmm. Ho's mad, but I talked about it already. Yeah, if you want to try out Mario Strikers Battle League, there's you can download the demo for it now. It goes like the multiplayer playtests go live starting at, oh my gosh, it's 11 p.m. Central Time on Friday. So if you want to try out Mario Strikers against your friends or other people, you can do that starting this weekend. You can play the training mode now and see if you like it, and hopefully you like it. I don't think it's worth $60. So, but that's just my opinion. Apparently my opinion's awful because I don't like Star Wars. So just, so yeah, try it yourself. See if you like it. I'll tell you what, I will be.
Your place trash.
Wait, do what?
Your place trash.
I'll stay with the games that I actually know that I will like Modern Warfare 2, because they just announced the release date for it, and it's decided to jump off my screen. Here it is. October 28th is when Modern Warfare 2 is coming out. They released a new cinematic trailer that, I shouldn't even say cinematic trailer. A trailer that somebody spray painted the logo on a boat and floated it around a river in like Britain or something, and then they pieced all of it together, and it was like a clue. Way more money was spent on this marketing thing than probably they've put into effort and paying people to fix the current state of Call of Duty, because it's awful the way it is now. I mean, but
I feel like Modern Warfare 2 came out like a decade ago.
Oh, it did. But this is another one.
They're going down the same road as Microsoft. Like, I hate these stupid ass naming conventions and stuff. I mean, it's simple.
Yeah,
like I hate when
it by the year it came out. Like, you're not gonna make two of these in the same year.
Yeah,
but they've already got a Modern Warfare 2, so don't call it that. That's like the Xbox One. That's what people refer to as the first generation of Xbox. Oh, that was the first Xbox. That's the Xbox One. No, this is the Xbox One, but it came out fourth or I don't know. That's a pet peeve of mine. Like, it doesn't have to be hard. I'm not saying go Sony's route, but I mean, that's like as simple as you can get. We'll just call this one 1, this one 2, this one 3.
Well, I mean, God of War is technically God of War 4, but they called it God of War.
Yeah. So that's
they are guilty of their own crimes.
I didn't like that either, and that's also stupid.
Yeah. I'm really glad that they're not calling Ragnarok God of War 2, because that would have been like, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, no, I get
Final Fantasy naming conventions.
Oh, God. No thanks. Yeah, it'd be like Final Fantasy, what was it, 10-2 Remake Intergrade, Part 7.
This one's 4, but it's actually number 2 in America.
Yeah, that too. That's a doozy. But speaking of God of War, I love these transitions today. This actually broke like 5 minutes before we started recording, so I added to the notes, and that is that the PlayStation Plus games for June have leaked online. Big one up is God of War, which, that's the sequel's coming out probably in September, October time. So if you have PlayStation Plus, the regular version, you don't have to be on like the highest tier one to get that. It is coming to PlayStation Plus. But if you're already on PS5, you already get God of War, so it's kind of redundant. But
yeah, it didn't seem like a strong lineup.
But with that also, you get it's jumped off my screen, but it's Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and which that's a good thing. I mean, I'm sure they're pushing that because Multiversus is coming out soon, I believe. So they're trying to one last push to make people want to play as fucking Garfield, but because why not? And Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers, which is that a fighting game? I think
it's a fighting game.
So yeah, it's not the strongest lineup. It's still better than half the shit that Xbox puts out for their games with gold, because they're putting all their cards into Game Pass instead of games with gold. So you get this dumb stuff with them. But it's, if you haven't already got God of War, that's a great game to have. So if you started playing it the day it came out, you'd probably beat me, and I've been playing it for 2 years now. Trying to get that game done. I don't even know where I'm at, like, as far as progression in that game. I just talked to the World Serpent, so I feel like I'm still really early in the game because I don't feel like I've played it a lot. Yeah. So
you just now talked to the?
Well, I did it like 2 days ago, and I've been like floating around in the boat doing like all this.
You played in 10-minute increments?
No, I literally just like.
That's me.
I played it for like 2 hours, and I talked to the World Serpent. I float around the boat. I've been going to all the different little areas and completing them. And then there was a horn, and it was like the kid's like, "Hey, blow the horn," and Kratos is like, "No." And I kept mashing it, hoping eventually he was going to blow the horn, and he never did. And I was like, "Damn it! I just want to know what happens now with this stupid ass horn on this bridge." I'm sure it's something bad, but I just want to know. And because Kratos is usually right about this stuff, and there's like a big door on a bridge, and I'm supposed to go through there, but there's locked because I need like this rune thing to be able to translate bullshit, and I'm still trying to find the last one of those. So that tells you exactly where I'm at in that game.
Get all the jiggies.
Now, look, if they said, "Hey, this is God of War. You're playing as Kratos. This is your son. His name is Boy, and you have to go find 120 golden jigsaw pieces to fight this fat witch at the top of the tower," I'd be done with it. I would have played it all in one sitting. Like, just, it's just, and then in the sequel, she's just a skeleton. Yeah, it's a great time.
Skeleton.
Say a sexy skeleton? Man, oh man.
Segue.
She interrupted Poker Night. And
speaking of God of War,
speaking of Poker Night, let's talk about other things that are fun, like a Horizon Zero Dawn series for Netflix and a God of War series for Amazon, along with a show about Gran Turismo. Because everything, used to be that thing where like not everything needs a sequel. Well, not everything also needs its own damn TV show. And that's what we're getting at now. And Netflix has signed got a series of Horizon Zero Dawn, or just Horizon series coming. Amazon's getting God of War. I think that they should just pick a studio and then run with it instead of just, I know why they do it, because they get more people to subscribe to different services, but I think it's dumb. So, plus they got the Last of Us show coming to HBO. Like, just pick one. Just pick a service. You don't have to own all of them, but. And there's also, they had the Uncharted movie come out, what was it, a couple months now? There's a Ghost of Tsushima TV show or movie in the works. There's a Twisted Metal show coming. Like, okay, look, just figure it out. I mean, I'm assuming you guys will probably give them a try at least, see if you like them.
I'll watch Horizon Zero Dawn, but I don't have Amazon, and I'm not paying Amazon to watch God of War, so...
I'm like the exact opposite. Like, I don't think I'd pay Netflix to watch Horizon, even though I just paid Netflix to watch Stranger Things.
Well, no, but there's a lot of stuff on Netflix though. Like I really like Witcher. You know, they got Stranger Things. I mean, I can't even tell you what's on Amazon, but
not as much stuff as it used to be for sure. But then like, I don't even know how far they could go with a Gran Turismo show. Like just,
I mean, like I don't even like.
I never even played one of those games. Does it have any kind of like story content? Or?
No, it's just like your typical racing game in a circuit.
Like literally, like just watch Top Gear. I mean, it's
just to put on a NASCAR race. Like I mean, it's the same thing. It's just,
oh, but they have not.
Sure. Look, I have not watched Halo. I've heard horrible things about Halo. Mostly because they decided to not follow the canon story and do their own thing. And they ruined it, pretty much, in my opinion.
He takes off his mask, and just his mask, unlike the Mandalorian, and then fucks completely in his suit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like...
But, I mean, is that not the case with all of them, though?
What do you mean?
That's what they take a game, and then they make a movie out of it, and they completely disregard the fan base of the game because they want to make it more open, or what they believe will attract more people in. And all they end up doing is just pissing off the fan base, and then nobody really likes it.
So, I've heard a couple of different, like, back and forths with it. Is like, if Halo had just been a show and it wasn't called Halo, it was just another sci-fi show, would have been great, you know? There have been interviews with people like the guy who plays Master Chief asking, like, what's your favorite Halo game? Dude's never played Halo in his life, has no, like...
What's Halo?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just got this gig.
They said, put me in a green suit and fuck this girl. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was a porno.
Yeah, he showed off his master cheeks. Yeah, like, but, you know, they've... Not to go in, like, I guess it's not really spoilers, but people, like, you know, have been able to, like, see some of the production of, like, The Last of Us TV show. And that, you know, the Neil Druckmann, the guy who wrote the story for The Last of Us, like, he is, like, heavily involved in that. And that show supposedly is, like, a 1-to-1 retelling of the original game and not straying too far off of the beaten path with it. Which, I mean... If you have already played the game, it makes you kind of not want to watch the show because you already know what's going to happen. Like, I'm okay with them. Like, I think the better way to go about it is to go to the same universe, but tell different stories. Like the Halo, like the Halo.
When you make all the mistakes.
Yeah. I
kind of feel like.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like The Walking Dead did a really good job of taking subject material and not completely just throwing it out the window, but making it different enough to provide intrigue and stuff.
Well, the whole consensus with The Walking Dead, and I agree with you, is that like it's like an alternate reality where like one thing was different and how it affected everything else. Like it was like. Like it was
Daryl.
No, well, it was the theory about it was like what happens if Shane didn't die like in the first issue, because everything that happened in like the first 2 seasons was because Shane was still alive, and how things differed because of that. So I mean, yeah, I agree. Like if you know with the Last of Us show, like what happens if like Joel's daughter didn't die like in the beginning of it, like how different would the events of The Last of Us be if what was her name, Sarah, if she didn't die, like how would he meet Ellie and all that other stuff, just you know, just weird stuff like that. But like then being like, oh, this is Master Chief and he is completely different because we had to make him more human-like for the show, and he's very like almost like robotic because he's like a science experiment kind of thing, but we have to make it, you know, different for the show, but we're going to keep all the existing characters. Like, it just doesn't work well. And Max in the chat talked about the Super Mario Brother movie. Like, I have really high hopes for the Mario Brothers movie. Like,
we'll see.
The original one was perfect, so
I love the original Mario Brothers movie. So I would love a
I hope
sequel to
they
that,
do
but
give a nod. I hope they do give a nod to it. Like
I really hope
like
they do. Yeah.
Like they jump through a painting and there's like those fuck ass Goombas and they're like, and then just jump right back. And then just,
like, ah, God, and then just jump out.
wrong universe.
Yep. I would love.
We should save that one.
I hope that movie does well because, like, I feel like it's easier to do stuff like with animation, like if you're than it is for live action stuff. The only concern I have, and I think everyone kind of is having this concern, is Chris Pratt doing his Mario voice, because like you don't want it to sound like Chris Pratt really, and you don't want it to sound like him doing a fake Italian accent, and you don't want him. And you don't want him to just go yippee, because like why would you bring him on? Because you already have Charles Martinet in the movie also, and he could just do that. So,
I have a theory.
Okay,
He's gonna sound exactly like Chris Pratt.
There's some reason why Mario can talk like real words in like this universe. Like something happens where he gets thrown into another universe, and he's like, "Wow, that's like crazy." And, yeah, like in this universe, I talk like Chris Pratt, and then like that's so crazy. And then like going back in his own universe, and he talks like what is that? If you ever play like Mario and Luigi games, like whenever they're talking to each other, it's like that this bobbity boobity Italian like words that they use. Like I would love for that. Like that's how he just normally talks.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine Star-Lord doing Mario? I mean, I'm trying.
It's
a lot easier.
He's gonna sound just like Star-Lord.
It's a lot easier picturing Jack Black do Bowser. But
maybe they'll do some twist like with Detective Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds was the voice of Pikachu throughout the whole movie, and I don't know why, but I did not also expect the dad to be Ryan Reynolds. I just thought he was going to be the voice of Pikachu.
Yeah,
and the dad would be like some Asian character that they just picked and didn't voice or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was Ryan Reynolds as the dad, I'm just like, no, get him out of here.
I can't wait for the sequel for that movie. It needs to come on. I think the one that still I can't wrap my head around is Seth Rogen being Donkey Kong.
No, I can hear it. See, I have more of a problem with Jack Black being Bowser, because like you understand that my interpretation of Bowser is based on that cartoon from the early 90s. So I don't know if y'all have seen that, but I'm not even going to attempt an impersonation because it would sound horrible, but it's a very distinct voice. And that's I don't know how Jack Black's gonna. I'm sure it'll be different than that. I hope so.
Well, that's like he didn't really talk about it when we were talking about the summer direct predictions last week, but there are rumors that there might be a trailer for the Mario movie in their summer direct.
That'd be great.
So,
that'd be great.
But it got delayed to February of next year, so it's like because it's supposed to come out around Christmas time, so they may have a trailer ready, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and I know we're kind of running short on time. I think I know Richard's got to go soon. Then we have a little bit more stuff to talk about. You have to leave at 11, right?
Yeah, but I mean it's just now 13 after.
Okay, well we're gonna quickly talk about the new PlayStation Plus because people who have already played it they're not having the best time with it, and it's just one of them weird quirky things as a reason why they're not having fun with it, because all of the games, this is going to be kind of this really nerd shit, but I guess that's why you're here. If you're watching a show about nerd shit, you probably already know about some of this stuff. So back in the day, the United States, other countries, whenever you're looking at those old CRT televisions, they all ran at 60 hertz. It's called NTSC. That was like the standard version of like PlayStation 1 games. I think PS2 also. In Europe, though, they had what's called PAL versions of these games because all of the CRT televisions ran at 50 hertz. And when this PS Plus emulation stuff came out, they have been putting the PAL versions of these games in all countries that are getting it. Like that's just the version of the ROMs that they're using. And if you're someone who has played these games in 60 hertz and you're like excited to go back, you may notice that the games don't play as you remember them because they're playing at technically a lower frame rate and they don't look as good. This has been causing issues with people who are like, because it's only rolled out in like certain Asian countries, but you can go and make a PlayStation account on your PS5 now in the, like, set it up in those areas and you can play this early. But the problem is that, like, this isn't happening to every game. It's only the first party PlayStation titles that are experiencing this. The third party ones are still running the NTSC versions that are running at the 60 hertz. So, but not all of the games play the same on here. It's just one of them weird, quirky things. And then to fix it, everyone thought that Sony would just do, like, it's kind of weird because Nintendo gives like European players the option to play at 60 hertz or 50 hertz. To fix that, Sony, instead of doing that, put out an update that pretty much adds ghosting to all of the 50 hertz games to make it to where it looks like they're playing in 60 hertz. But instead it just causes a lot of screen tearing and, like I said, ghosting and stuff. And it makes the games look worse. So it's just one of the weird technical things. Richard, how did you describe it earlier? Was this kind of like people crying about it or something?
Yeah, I mean, bitcher's gonna bitch. I've seen like videos posted like side by sides of how it ran on the PS1 and how it runs on the PS5, and it's like, I mean, these people are working really, really hard to find something to bitch about. At least in my opinion. You know, they're not upscaling it. These aren't remakes of classic titles. They're the original titles. And, you know, if you go back in time, that's just what they look like. I think that they're being really unreasonable, and also think that, not to go off on this tangent, I feel like when you have something, and maybe it's video game related or the show Obi-Wan or something like that, you could have like 5,000 people. And if 2 people hated it, that's your headline.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think this is misplaced. Are some people unhappy? They probably are. So I don't know. Go stick your head underwater. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, I'm not going to subscribe to this because I don't need to pay $120 a year to emulate these games when I have a computer that can do it. Or in some cases, I haven't tried it yet, but in some cases I have a 3DS that can emulate PS1 games, so I don't need to do all that. But I don't know, Chase, do you have any other opinions, thoughts on it? Like, do you see the sentiment of why people don't want to play the 50 hertz version if you grew up playing the 60 hertz version?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Richard. Like, I'm not gonna like just nitpick every little pixel on the game if it's just not exactly the same. Like,
did you see the clip that it was like I think it was like Monkey Ball or Super Monkey Ball or something, and they did like a side by side, and I'm just like, what are they bitching about?
I think the big thing is, I would say that the big problem with it is that, like, it's the frame rate. So, like, you know, if there's a game that was made and it run at 30 frames per second and you're playing the version where it's only 50 hertz, it's only running at like 25 frames per second, and you would notice like it'd be different than the way you played it as a kid. Like, in
okay, I'll say this much. So we'll pause my judgment because all I've seen is video. Based on the video, it seems like people are being unreasonable little bitches. Now I'm gonna get the service, and after I get the service, right, I think I'll have a more accurate opinion on how it is. But as it stands right now, based on the evidence that I can see, it sounds like people are just miserable.
And a lot of people aren't going to. I mean, a lot of people aren't going to have like 2 setups and testing side by side. You're gonna go in and you're gonna like, oh, this is what it is, and you're not even gonna know that it's gonna have any kind of difference to what it was. So
yeah,
and probably most people playing are probably half my age that never even played the first when it came out to begin with. So,
I mean, a lot of people don't realize, and I think I've touched on the subject before, is that those old games were meant for those old TVs.
Yeah.
So a lot of developers played into that fact. They're like, we're gonna go and play into the strengths of these television sets, and they've used the color bleed to their advantage. And I think that adds a lot to how the graphics are presented now, where, like Richard said, those people probably never played the originals,
Yeah.
they're wanting pixel clarity, and you never even had that back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there is a CRT filter.
That'd be nice. That's what I would hope for.
Yeah. I mean, we got, what is it? It's coming out like the second week of June out here. So
Yeah.
a couple more weeks and we'll be able to test it out and revisit this topic and see how it actually holds up compared to the originals. Like I said, I just think, it's one of the things where, like, how did Nintendo do something first? Because, like, they're so ass backwards and behind on things. Like, I think they should, if enough people complain about it, I'm sure Sony will actually fix it. But, like, from the get-go, like, this Nintendo Switch Online has had the option for European people to play at those 50 hertz if that's what they want to do, but made the standard because, the NTSC version was the standard globally other than, like, in Europe. So, like, why would they pick that over the NTSC version? Or at least just give people the option to pick one or the other. I'm sure at some point they're going to do it, but, people got to bitch about something. So, just one of those things. And actually, one of the things people have really been bitching about, because it kind of got thrown in the weeds, was this state of play that's happening this Thursday, because there aren't going to be any first party games there, like, other than, like, PSVR 2 stuff. The exact things, the quote here says, "It's been more than 2 months since our last state of play, so who's ready for the next one? Tune in this Thursday, June 2nd, for nearly 30 minutes of announcements and updates from the world of PlayStation." And it's all about third-party partners and a sneak peek at several games in development for PSVR 2. So there's no God of War. There's no whatever the hell else they've got coming out. Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Like, nearly 30 minutes.
Well, I don't really need to see anything about God of War Ragnarok. I mean, I'm gonna get it. I mean, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. Like, obviously they've got, like, Spider-Man and Wolverine coming too. But, like, other than that, there's not a lot of stuff that we know about, like, first party wise. Like, I mean, there's a rumored, like, The Last of Us remake and a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima that's been thrown around. There was, last week there was the announcement that Death Stranding 2 is coming, but, there's no way that they're going to have anything to show off for that. So, like, they, maybe there's a Sly Cooper or another Ratchet and Clank that they're spinning up or something, but they're at a point where they need to start announcing what comes after God of War. Because God of War will probably hit this fall, and then they usually like to have a heavy-hitting game in, like, the first quarter of the new year. So, like, we don't know what that is. But as far as, like, things that could show up, the list of, like, rumored stuff is a way shorter on the PlayStation side than it is on the Nintendo side. So this won't take as long as last week to go through all of the rumored and speculation and wish list stuff. But just a couple, like Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. Final Fantasy 16 is still supposed to come out this year, so it's possible that could show up. Supposedly.
I don't know.
Supposedly.
The rumored Resident Evil 4 remake. We've gotten Resident Evil 2 and 3, so obviously.
I just want Resident Evil 8 DLC.
That could be there
that
too.
they've already said was coming. But
they said last year it was in development.
Yeah,
we'll see. This long rumored Silent Hill game that we've talked about several times on the show.
Believe it when we see it.
I know.
Yeah, I don't. I have seen so much, like, artwork and I'll keep it short and sweet. I have seen so much shit about Bully 2. You would not believe. Do you know what I do not have?
Bully 2.
so I don't want to see. I don't want to see, like, these leaked screenshots. I've seen it all before about games that never came. So
if you want to see it come, you can go to Rule 34.
Stay away from Rule 34.
That's like staying.
They're watching your browser.
8. Yes.
Chat 8.
We could see Hogwarts Legacy again, even though it just got its own state of play like 2 months ago now.
Yeah.
That comes out in September, so
we'll see footage from that.
Yeah. This could also be where Modern Warfare 2 gets a full trailer because it's happening before Summer Games Fest.
Be odd though, since Microsoft now owns the Call of Duty thing, that it would premiere on
2 parts. That deal hasn't officially gone through yet. It's got
okay.
It's not expected to actually go through till like summer of next year, but a lot of people are advocating the FCC to investigate whether they can actually do that. So it may end up falling apart, but we'll see. But right now,
seems to be that happens quite a bit.
Yeah. But for the past 8 years now, like Sony has had the exclusive deal with Call of Duty to get like all the stuff, so it could show up. On the VR side, we know only PlayStation VR 2 game we know about is Horizon Call of the Mountain. That's supposedly a launch title for the new VR headset. Do y'all think the VR headset's coming out this year, or is it going to be next year?
Not this year.
Like if it's coming out this year, they're going to announce it this next month.
I think we'll get the price and the date, but I just don't think it'll
because I feel like they said that the Horizon Call of the Mountain was coming out this year.
Oh, really? Well, maybe so.
I don't know.
Or maybe it comes out for Valve Index this year and then PSV next year.
That's kind of what I was thinking, though. Is I would hope they would, maybe not even intentionally, but make it so that the VR headset that they're making is PC compatible. And that way they could branch into, like PC gaming in a way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's possible. It's just, it connects with just a Type-C cable. So as long as your computer had a Type-C port on it. So, any other things that you want to show up here that we haven't talked about? Like, what was that game called? Teacha or Stray or...
It'd be awesome if Nintendo sold Punch-Out to Sony, and they made that announcement that it was coming over.
I can't wait. I really hope at some point Nintendo announces a new Punch-Out for the Switch.
Man, I hope so too. I really do. I don't,
Sky on the Switch.
That comes out soon.
Yes, because I have a running theory that I hope, because I missed the first expedition, and then they did all the expeditions last November, like a week like that, and I missed that one too. I've missed that first expedition, so I'm hoping when it launches for the Switch, given that, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but when I play No Man's Sky, I see PC people, I see Xbox people. To me, it's all the same kind of world server set. So to give the Switch people access to all the expeditions, I hope they actually run through all the expeditions again, so that I have a shot to finally complete that first one, because it's the only one that I've not done. So I don't have any of the unlocked stuff. Ship. I want it.
I saw someone with it this expedition.
Did you? Yeah, I want that golden ship.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
So yeah, this is stuff to look forward to. We will, depending on scheduling, we may try to do like a recap or something, because that's technically the first event of Summer of Gaming. So we'll see.
This is Thursday,
and it airs at 4 p.m. our time. So
okay,
might do something that evening. We'll see. But yeah, that's all of the news for this week. It was actually a heavy news week. But compared to last week, where there was nothing to talk about, and we stretched a whole episode talking about whether Advance Wars was coming out for the Switch this year. And
I'm glad I missed that conversation.
That was like the first time we
see me throwing stuff on camera everywhere.
we finally talked about that in real depth. You missed a very lengthy conversation about why games should be delayed for real world purposes and stuff.
I don't, and you forgive me, I'm not trying to make light of anything, but what if this conflict goes on for like years? Are they just going to sit on it?
Yep.
Because they don't want to offend anybody. I mean, oh my gosh. Well, then why is Modern Warfare 2 coming out?
Yep.
I mean, is that not offensive? I don't know.
Right.
Nintendo doesn't even know that Call of Duty still exists. It's so out of their ecosystem.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, for reference, how many people saw the World Trade Center movie?
They made a movie?
They did.
The Nicolas Cage movie? Wasn't Nicolas Cage in that?
No, I think it was like some B-lister movie, honestly.
Really? I swear to God that Nicolas Cage was like a firefighter in that movie.
He might have been, now that I think about it.
They made there was a movie with Robert Pattinson, Remember Me, that was surprisingly a 9/11 movie, but you didn't really know that until the end.
Yeah, Nick Cage was in World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there was a couple of movies that
I'm sure they milked the hell out of it.
apparently nobody watched about. But here's the thing though, like if Advanced Wars was about like Ukraine and Russia, I would see it, but it's not. It's like it's the Blue Army versus the Orange Army.
Yeah.
It's their little cartoon people.
At that point, yeah.
I get what was it, Stalker 2 getting delayed because one, the developers are in Ukraine. The game's about Chernobyl. That fair enough. That game's delayed. With this Modern Warfare 2, I think we talked about this last week. Modern Warfare 2, if it's a faithful remake of the original Modern Warfare 2, one of the opening missions of the campaign has you play as Russians killing innocent people in an airport. So if that even exists slightly in the reboot of this game, there ain't no way that they should be putting that out. It's just that hits a little close to home right now. And Nintendo's like, oh yeah, my anime Red Tank, no, can't do it. Sorry.
Yeah.
See you later.
It's ridiculous.
It is rather ridiculous. Hopefully they're just like, hey, sorry we had to delay it. We were just trying to be, cautious, and it's coming out the same day as God of War because we're going to make you fight for your time, Richard. Specifically, they're going to call Richard out in the dragon and say, what's more important to you, God of War Ragnarok or this game you've been waiting for 2 years?
Wow.
It's not too hard to just make up names. Oh yeah, the Putin Common Army.
Yeah.
They're gonna go get some wee penises. The wee penises have been taking over the world. We gotta take them.
It should have came out.
It should have. I agree. I echo your sentiment. I think it's dumb. But that brings us to the end of our show. We are going to quickly do trivia because we haven't. No one's got a trivia question right in 6 weeks. So
that's not true.
What?
Yeah, me and Chase got it right the last time I was on.
Yeah, it was 6 weeks ago.
I got one right the other day.
You did get one right the other way. Oh my God, I forgot to put that in here. Shh. Okay.
Our scorekeeper. My gosh.
Oh yeah, current tally of times mentions bomb trivia. So I would raise that one up one. I'm about to beat y'all and score. All right.
And the winner this year is me.
Yeah, it's me. Sorry. I have announced, I have not announced it. I have decided what the trophy is going to be this year because it's going to be something practical that can be used outside of just being a trophy. I saw it.
Declare bankruptcy.
I saw it on TikTok yesterday, and I was like, okay, can't wait. So anyway, this trivia question is: the Fallout series was not originally Bethesda's own IP. They acquired it from which of the following studios? Was it Interplay Entertainment, Ready at Dawn, LucasArts, or Black Isle Studios?
I mean,
What was the first one?
I'm 100% sure. So, if anybody wants a free point,
I'm pretty sure it's Interplay.
It's Interplay. It is. We all win.
Did Michael even guess?
Yeah,
He
the
did.
first one, Interplay.
Okay. Sounds like y'all need a harder trivia question. Jesus. I make these I've been trying to do better at making these in advance. So, yeah. Then sometimes it'll be just Steven or just Chase, and it's okay. Well,
that was a rough question. That was a rough question, Mitch.
Was it?
Can I ask the audience?
That would be who is the Nintendo mascot that is also an Italian plumber?
Luigi.
What were you saying, Michael? Can you ask the audience a question?
Yeah, I want to ask the audience a question.
What's the question?
What's the answer?
What?
Interplay Studios. You didn't confirm it. You just said I need to ask harder questions. You didn't actually say if it was right or not.
It is right.
It is Interplay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just
Yeah.
guessing.
Quentin got it right too. He gets a point.
Good job, Quentin. Yeah, I'll bring harder trivia questions, I guess. Jesus. Okay.
Oh god, now we'll never get another one.
I know, right? It's gonna be like, yeah, how many Pokemon were like in all the generations combined, not including duplicates? Go. It's like can tell you. The answer is Mountain Dew. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Just
I'm about to say that doesn't cover all of them still. Like I was needing to know like gender differences, regional differences.
how fuckable is Vaporeon in this version of the game? Like,
Good God.
You can buy one at Build-A-Bear.
In terms of, okay, we're not gonna go there.
Oh God.
I knew it.
Oh
Chase,
Jesus.
like, what is this little diorama on this top shelf?
Oh, these up here.
Yeah,
these are my mother two figures.
From here, it looks like green trees, maybe, and like some roots or
that green one on. Hang on.
Yeah, right there where
this
your
right
hand
here
is. Yeah,
that is a nativity scene with a bunch of like tropical trees, and it's
Okay.
like it was I guess made for a fish tank. My mom found it. She gave it to me.
Oh,
I like it. I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna pull it down. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
interesting.
Very
See,
interesting.
I thought, I thought it was like a Horizon Zero Dawn thing. I was like, wow, it is.
Goodness. Real quick, because again, this was also a very big week for television, just like it was for gaming. Richard, how was Obi-Wan Kenobi? The people want to know.
It was fantastic. If you didn't like it, then you have very unreal expectations for Star Wars.
Don't talk
you should
about
probably
Dave
go
like that.
back and you should probably go back and watch A New Hope. Because I mean, it's all wonky. I mean, it's a space Star Wars soap opera. That being said, there is a part where they're chasing this. You've seen the spoilers by now, and it's not really a spoiler, but okay, you see Baby Leia. There's a part where these bounty hunters are chasing Baby Leia, and these bounty hunters are like the most like inept bounty hunters in the galaxy. They'll be chasing her, and like a small little twig will be in the way, and they'll be like, "Oh, like they can't just push it to the side." And then there's another part where the one of the Inquisitors is running across the rooftops, and it looks so like Matrixy and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's cringy. So there are some chase scenes that are bleh. But I mean, Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan. I mean, come on. I mean, that's all you got to say right there.
I find it funny that Star Wars is going the Mario Brothers route, where they're just making baby versions of all of their characters. So we've got Baby Yoda, and now we have Baby Leia, and now we're gonna get Baby.
Well,
Yoda.
no, but that's not Baby Yoda. That's
Grogu.
a baby of Yoda's species. This is literally well, everybody keeps saying Baby Leia. She looks like she's 7 or 8. She's supposed to be 10. So that's another thing that people bitch about.
Gotcha. And real quick, no spoilers. Stranger Things season 4. What the fuck was that last episode? What a thrill ride. Two more episodes. They're not coming out till July 1st. Get caught up. It's worth it. Richard, you haven't watched all of it, but you've read all the spoilers, right?
I read all the spoilers and stuff like that. I can't, like, video games is one thing. I don't want spoilers, but TV shows and movies, I don't know. My anxiety can't handle it. I immediately look at the spoilers. So
Man,
I have to know
my heart was
happening.
like racing so much during the watching.
Yeah,
the season.
see that right there. That's what I want to avoid.
There were some moments where I was like, I feel like these episodes are way too long. But then, like, the last episode was literally an hour and a half or 2 hours long or something, and it was rock and roll from the start to the end of it. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. Michael, do you watch Stranger Things?
I do, but I haven't seen the new season.
Oh, don't talk about Stranger Things. So anyway,
I do like the new merch I've been seeing though. All of the new merch is really awesome.
I know that they just introduced like the new villain for this season, but that dude is terrifying.
I will have to say, and this is not spoiler related because I've never talked about it, so nobody knows, but I do have a favorite character. And that character is in a predicament at the end. And if they kill said character, I'm probably not going to watch season 5.
So all of them.
Yeah.
In this together.
That show has really just gotten way too big with the cast.
Yeah, there's a ton of.
I honestly, and I think the actress that plays 11 said this in an interview, like, they need to start killing off characters because the cast is just getting way too big. But like the dude, that's like the D&D dude, like, he is one of my favorite new characters. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll stop talking about it. Michael hasn't got to watch it yet. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode of Next Gen News Week and Television Week, I guess. Yeah, put that at the end of it. Yeah, so this Thursday is the State of Play from Sony, and then next week is Summer Games Fest with Jeff Keighley, and then a couple days after that is the Xbox Bethesda Showcase. There's probably going to be a Nintendo Direct somewhere in the middle of all that. We'll definitely keep you posted on our social media pages. Richard, do you have anything you want to plug this week?
Not this week. I just got out of Facebook jail, so I'll be ready next week.
Michael?
No, nothing really.
Chase?
I think, like, as soon as we ended our episode last week, the GameFly sale went up. I'm not sure if it's still active. If you check the recently reduced page, it'll have like a lot of list of like games that are on sale. I know I think the Days of Play is still going on. So if you're needing like a new controller or something, check that out.
Epic's still having a sale going on right now too.
Yeah, Epic's having a sale. I know the BioShock series is free this week. And I think I don't know when that's. I think it's either tomorrow or the next day when that switches over. So
yeah, no. I was actually thinking about wanting to go back and play BioShock again, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, they're all free." I love BioShock Infinite. It's one of my favorite games of that 360 PS3 generation. What you doing, Richard?
He's moving.
Breaking everything down.
Okay. Well, yeah. So thank you, Richard. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Chase, for joining me this week. We'll be back maybe Thursday with a special episode. If not, we'll see you next Tuesday. Michael, we haven't had a plug from you in forever.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah. Or
Monday.
What day is it? Oh, yeah.
Well, no. See you
is
next Tuesday, and it's. Never mind.
He didn't get it.
Nope. Went over my head. Michael, do you have a plug for this week?
Yeah, this week's sponsor is brought to you by roses. If you lean a little bit closer, they actually just smell like roses. Not really like poo-poo.
Thank you for that. All right.